Jupiter in traditional astrology. Jupiter as we see it in the sky. Jupiter is one of the brightest objects in the night sky, visible with naked eye. Its magnitude is between -2.94 at its brightest to -1.66 at its dimmest, observable as a white star. Together with Saturn and Mars, Jupiter is one of the outer planets, also known as superiors. It takes Jupiter 11 years, 10 months and 18 days to travel through the 12 signs of the zodiac, with 4 minutes and 59 seconds average daily speed. The synodic period of Jupiter is the time between two conjunctions with the Sun, around 388 days, 21 hours and 7 minutes. The cycle of Jupiter is roughly 10 days longer than the synodic period of Saturn and includes the following configurations with the Sun. Exact conjunction within 16 minutes before or after the Sun, also known as Casimir. In this configuration, Jupiter is invisible. Within the rays of the Sun, when Jupiter is invisible within approximately 15 degrees before or after the Sun. Morning rising, from first visibility at 15 degrees before the Sun to approximately 120 degrees before the Sun in the order of signs. In this interval, Jupiter moves directly and is visible before sunrise as a morning star. First station at approximately 120 degrees before the Sun in the order of signs, when Jupiter stops in its motion and turns retrograde. A retrograde motion from approximately 120 degrees before the Sun to approximately 120 degrees after the Sun in the order of signs. In this interval, Jupiter is retrograde in motion and is visible first before sunrise, evening rising, then after sunset, morning setting. A chronicle setting when Jupiter approaches the opposition with the Sun in approximately 15 degrees. This is the beginning of the curtailed passage. Opposition to the Sun at 180 degrees. A chronicle rising when the Sun distances from Jupiter in approximately 15 degrees after opposition. Jupiter is still retrograde. This is the end of the curtailed passage. Second station at approximately 120 degrees after the Sun in the order of signs, when Jupiter stops in its motion and turns direct. Evening setting from approximately 120 degrees after the Sun to last visibility at 15 degrees after the Sun in the order of signs. In this interval, Jupiter moves directly and is visible after sunset as an evening star. This continues until it reaches the rays of the Sun and begins the new cycle. Nature of Jupiter. According to the ancient cosmogony of Claudius Ptolemy, Jupiter is situated between the light and the warmth of the Sun and the coldness and darkness of Saturn. For this reason, its quality is believed to be hot and moderately moist, and its nature is tempered, benefic, and supporting life. Both qualities are understood as necessary for life, as their opposites, cold and dry, are understood as damaging life. Hot is warm, light, fast, and conducive affection, while moist is wet, soft, changeable, and inclined to adaptation. In ancient times, astrologers believed that Jupiter is stronger and more positive in diurnal charts, because it is part of the diurnal hierarchy or sect, together with the Sun and Saturn. Jupiter is assigned to the diurnal sect on the principle of similar natures. The warmth of the day increases the warmth of Jupiter, making it more active and energized. On the base of familiarity with the masculine signs, Jupiter has rulership over the fiery and airy signs. In the fire triplicity of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, the Sun is designated as a daytime ruler, Jupiter is nighttime ruler, and Saturn a cooperating lord. Even though Jupiter is weaker at night, it has more power over the fire triplicity than the Sun, which at night is invisible. Together with Saturn and Mercury, Jupiter is the third cooperating lord in the air triplicity of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Saturn is designated as a daytime ruler, being stronger at day. Mercury is the nighttime ruler, while Jupiter is the cooperating lord. Jupiter is designated to rule the signs of Sagittarius and Pisces, which precede and follow the winter season, when the weather is changeable and turning from autumn to winter and then to spring, similar to its modest nature between the extreme heat of the Sun and the excessive coldness of Saturn. Additionally, a Jupiter is attributed exaltation in the watery, nocturnal sign of Cancer, which follows the spring and makes the beginning of the summer after the peak of the spring rains and growth of vegetation. Jupiter is believed to bring prosperity, purity, fruitfulness, and high rank in life with its supportive hot and moist nature. However, its nature is modified by different conditions related to its synodic cycle position, the sect of the chart, position in sign and degree, topical or house position, aspects to other planets, latitude, speed of motion, etc. For this reason, Jupiter is not always benefic, at least not for everybody and everything. When a planet is situated in a sign or a degree where it has strength or familiarity, it is somehow dignified, being able to produce results relevant to its nature. If it happens that Jupiter is situated in the signs of Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, and to some extent in Leo, Libra, Aries, and Aquarius, it will be in its own place, capable to support all matters and produce useful and good results, in the same time minimizing any negative ones coming from other planets through their placement or rulership. This would include good social skills and exemplary morals, high reputation and rank in society, prosperity and availability of resources. Further to this, if the chart is diurnal and Jupiter is connected with harmonious aspects to the Sun and Saturn, being in a productive house, the result will be outstandingly positive and beneficial. Significations of Jupiter. Jupiter represents the elevated archetype, people who are renowned, acceptable, dignified, good, honest, high-minded, rulers or managers, well spoken of because of their goodness and piety, receiving the honors of offerings or of priestly office, those who are fond of their relatives and beneficent in friendship and happy with their wife and children. Jupiter signifies the begetting of children and childbirth, offspring, trust, fidelity, desire, and erotic love. It is indicative of associations and alliances, brotherhood, community, benefaction, and friendship of great men. Jupiter also signifies knowledge, freedom, deliverance from evils, justice, mediations of disputes and victories, authority, government, honors, presidencies, and priesthood. It is indicative of possessions, households, goods, wealth, and abundance, prosperity, gifts, and inheritance. Of people, Jupiter signifies the white-skinned persons, plump, with a large full beard, good manners, dignified, full-statured, with a broad forehead, blue or grey eyes, having hair in his nostrils, bald in front, large-headed, giving good counsel, dealing with everyone. In broader terms, Jupiter signifies the king and the rich, nobles and magnates, authority over the citizens and cities, the doctors, judges and lawyers, religion and priests, sages and philosophers. It signifies the white color, sweet taste, and tin among the metals. Jupiter is set down as ruler of opinion, high office, and will. In human body, Jupiter signifies the thighs, feet, running in athletic contests. Of the inner parts, it has authority over the seed, womb, liver, the parts of the right side, and the teeth. It shares the rulership of the ears with Mercury. Of infirmities, it signifies throat ailment, pneumonia, headache, cardiac conditions, and conditions related to excesses. Of the ages of human life, Jupiter signifies the age of maturity from 56 to 67. In overall, its greatest years are 79, middle ones 45, and lesser ones 12. Of the days of the week, it rules Thursday. Conclusion. Jupiter is known as the greater Benefic. It is the planet situated between the heat of the Sun and the coldness of Saturn, being moderate, hot and moist. Its nature is favorable and supporting life. Jupiter's influence varies between productive, strengthening success and morals, to restrictive and negative. It brings stability, affirmation, happiness, good social status, honesty, faith, and optimism. In nocturnal charts, not configured with the Sun and Saturn, its benefic nature is corrupted and leads to loss of morals and reputation, arrogance, extravagance, lack of resources, and diminished social status.